Hello, ELBC Church family. I'd like to talk with you for a few moments about returning to worship. As you know, we're living during a pandemic, public health emergency due to the COVID-19 virus. I just want to take a few moments to talk to you about possible return to in-person worship in light of this pandemic the world experiencing. And I'll tell you, not at all during my 3.5 decades of pastoral ministry have I ever experienced a challenge to our church and its ministry like this one. The way forward as well is not charted. We do not have historical precedent, at least in recent times, as far as I know, to provide guidance for reassembly for in-person worship with the situation at hand. To get back to church means that we will do so with a highly contagious virus still active. No vaccine, as you know, is available, and there may not be one until next year, perhaps at the earliest. So this presents a formidable challenge to us in maintaining our safety as we attempt to regather for in-person worship. Our church membership is comprised of a significant number who have comorbidities. Plus, there are many in our church who are in the most valuable, vulnerable age group. And data seems to indicate that all are potentially at risk to contract COVID-19. So to return to in-person worship, we are developing a blueprint that will help us mitigate the risk to our health. I've asked certain members of our church to collaborate with me to prepare a blueprint for returning to worship in the age of the coronavirus pandemic. These individuals that I've asked to help me include our church's medical professionals, those responsible for managing the arrangement and flow of people in our sanctuary, and those responsible for sanitation of our sanctuary and other high-touch areas. We're going to work hard to ensure that all will go well. We will take direction from the CDC as well. We value people who have long, deep, and broad experience with infectious diseases, so we will consult their materials to help us in our preparation to return to worship. We want your safety when you come here to be protected. In fact, your safety is paramount in my mind. But before I go further, let me assure you that our live stream ministry will continue when in-person worship resumes. We're really blessed to be able to do this during this time. We had no plans initially to go live stream, but providentially it has come about, and I believe it's proved to be a blessing not only to our church members, but to others as well. So we will continue that. And therefore, those in our fellowship who elect to refrain from returning to in-person worship due to personal health concerns, that option will be available to you, and we certainly understand it. As we develop our plans, we will be guided by science and current data. We will also observe what other churches are doing or have implemented so that we may glean from them any ideas or actions that they've taken so that we may implement them as we deem fit in our local assembly. Now, you need to know, no date has been set for a return. Therefore, we can't tell you at this point. But when the date is determined, we will announce it on our website. We will provide in that announcement protocols as well. We have these protocols to keep you safe, and I'm sure you want that. We'll have some protocols that are pretty easy to follow, I think. First, we will have, and I'll just give you a few of them, temperature taken of all entrants stationed at the opening of our church. In front of it, we'll have those individuals who, medical people, will take our temperature. We need to know this. We want to keep everyone from contracting this dread disease. Also, we believe it will be important to wear a mask. We want to protect one another. The reality is that that's one way we can express love for our fellow believer. We don't want anyone to contract the disease while they're here in worship. So the mask can help, and we believe it, they will. We will wear one. I will wear one, except when I'm preaching. But we will do that. We hope you will cooperate with us in that regard. Also, we're working on plans for social distancing within our sanctuary. And even after we have dismissed from this place of worship. These and other protocols will be implemented to help us to have a sanitized or sanitary place where we can share together in worship. As you probably know, a return to worship will be different from pre-coronavirus days. That's obvious. We will be, if we are able to come back, it'll be the new normal. While we're in the age of COVID-19, there's also the possibility of a second wave. And if that does happen, as some are predicting in the fall and winter months, that will require a return to live stream worship only. We'll have to do that. The reality is, this is unlike, as I've indicated, anything we've ever experienced before. Our highest priority is the safety of all the membership. But I know also we want to be together. We want to worship together. We want to have opportunity to see one another. I know that's a longing of everyone's heart. And so we'd like to accommodate that as safely as possible. So what we're going to ask you to do as we're making our plans, as we're developing this blueprint, which we will share with you at the appropriate time, is this. Pray for those developing the blueprint for the return to worship. That we will be guided by science, guided by good sense, and guided by the Lord. That what we enact and to allow us to return will be what is possible at the highest human level to provide safety for you. Second thing I'd like to ask you to do is continue to pray for our church's usefulness to the Lord during these days. Look at it like this. God is still on his throne. He is still at work in the world. He still uses his people. Don't think for a moment that this interruption in the normal concourse of our worship life has caught God by surprise. We know that it hasn't. He has ordained it, in fact. Nothing happens in this world apart from his ordination. Whatever has come to pass is because he has chosen it to do so. And he has a purpose involved in that will of his being expressed this way. Ultimately, he will be glorified. And I do believe that in time, we will hear stories, as we've already begun to hear, of what God has done. And I believe we'll hear as well in eternity what God accomplished during this time of distress, this COVID-19 virus and all of that. And we'll give God glory. We'll honor him. So pray that he will continue to use us during these days as we live stream, as the word of God is going forward. In fact, more people are being exposed to our ministry here in the word than ever before. So that's something to give him praise and thanksgiving for as well. Thirdly, pray for and with one another. Though we can't be together, you have a prayer partner, pray with your prayer partner from time to time. Call someone and encourage them, check on one another, see how they're doing, and perhaps pray for them. We're separate, but we don't have to behave as though we cannot have any interaction. We can. So let's do that. I'm sure some of you have done it. Some I've done it. Some have done it in regard to me and my wife. So we encourage you to do that in these days. So that's what we're planning to do. It won't be this month, I can assure you that, the month of May. I've already told you we don't know when we'll do it, but we'll certainly let you know. So keep us in your prayers, and may God bless you. Tune in Sunday as we share together, again, from the Word of God for our edification and for the glory of God. May the Lord bless you and keep you.